So my name is Jillian Tassel, and I work at the Provincial Correctional Centre. I've been working here for about 3 years. I originally was a correctional officer, so I did that for about 2 years, and then I was offered a temporary position in programs. So now I'm doing programming. So I teach and facilitate emotional regulation, addiction programs. I do intakes and discharge planning, and just really anything related to programming. My education. So I went to St. Mary's University for a criminology degree and a minor in social justice and community studies. And then I immediately started working here. So it's a great opportunity because you would think that you need the corrections program, but in reality, as long as you have a BA in a related field, you're able to apply.
My name is Ryan Deagle. I am currently a CO3 here at the Correctional Centre, also known as a shift supervisor. I started here 4.5 years ago now, probably. I started out as a casual, just like anybody else does. I had heard about the casual posting through a friend I know that works here. She encouraged me to apply, and so I did. Yeah, 4.5 years later, I got a permanent position, and then I moved on up into a supervisor role. And yeah, my education, I went to UPEI, a Bachelor of Arts major in political science, and that falls under the umbrella of the social sciences. And so that was enough to qualify me to start here as a casual.
I'm just going to ask about the social sciences definition for the positions. Is there a list of majors or degrees that fits that?
Yeah, so I mean, there's like the political science, there's the sociology. Actually, anything that falls under a BA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we've actually even had staff with a biology degree.
Yeah.
Different things that just if you had like a science-based psych degree, I think that would also be recognized. So it's really they would primarily, I think, want a BA in a social aspect, but as long as it's related to corrections or vulnerable populations in some way.
If you can demonstrate so.
Yeah.
If you can demonstrate also even through some work experience that you might have some of that experience.
Yeah, absolutely. But even myself, I didn't come in with much work experience, and I was still able to just show that my education was going to be able to equip me for the job. And if you do come in with a BA and you don't have any background in security or tactical training, that's not a problem. We do in-house training for that stuff. So there's no expectation that you're coming in knowing the security side of things.
Yeah. Which I feel like is probably a deterrent for a lot of people that to apply. They think, yeah, I have a BA or I have whatever, but geez, I don't know anything about security. I don't know anything about hands-on tactical things, and so it deters them from applying. But like Jill said, if you have the education, we do all our in-house training. So
great, thanks. All right, let's continue.
Okay. Okay, so this kind of takes us to our next slide where we were just going to talk about education and other requirements. So like we had mentioned, a bachelor's degree in social science or related field. Because of the nature of the work, it's really important that you have, strong communication, interpersonal teamwork and problem solving skills. We have to really think on our feet a lot and work as a team collaboratively in a lot of different capacities. So it's really important that you're able to, demonstrate that. Also, part of the job is involving transports and different things like that to appointments or court. So you do need to have a driver's license, and then you have to get your class 4 certification, and then a criminal record check.
Okay, pretty straightforward there.
Yep. So there's lots of benefits to working in government. even if you start into the correctional role and you think this isn't where I'm going to see myself forever, that's, you know, the attitude that a lot of people have. It's definitely a stepping stone. But working in government, you know, you're typically awarded with competitive salaries. Correctional officers, we actually, that 2412 was the starting salary, but we just settled a negotiation. So I think that'll go up a little bit. Plus your shift premium. So if you're working on the weekend, you're working evening and night shifts, you get paid like a couple dollars more each hour. So all of that is, you know, a great incentive right out of your degree to be starting at such a competitive wage. And within government, there's also so many training opportunities. So those are all paid. You get paid days off to go to them. And I'd say I've taken probably 15 courses since I've been here, and it's all really supported. Like they want training, and it's great for your resume, just all around. It's a great opportunity. And then our career advancements and career opportunities. So right now in government, especially in our department, a lot of our senior management, I would say almost 50% are close to retirement age. So we are expecting to see a lot of turnover, a lot of job opportunity coming up. And so it's a really great time to get into government and get some experience as those jobs come up. There's lots of opportunity for growth and opportunity to move around. And then the training and development fund. So that is really great for people who are hoping to pursue education while they're also working. We are given $2,500 a year if you are doing any extra education that's related to your field. So even right now, I'm doing my Master's of Justice, and by the time I'm done of my degree, I think $7,500 of my tuition will have been covered by the government. So that's a really great incentive as well, if you're looking to increase your education as you're working. Anything to add?
Yeah, one more thing I will touch on is, especially in today's in today's society, we also have very competitive what's the word before, pension plan.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, everyone knows the government pension plan is a good one. And so when you do get hired on here, and if you were to get a permanent position, you pay into a really good pension plan. We also have lots of leave as a permanent employee here, and same as anywhere else in government. All kind vacation. We offer sick leave. We offer special leave, parental leave. So there's a couple more benefits too.
Mm-hmm.
Great, thank you.
So we also want to introduce kind of the other agencies that you can go to from corrections. So these are places that we work with directly, or people that we know who've worked here have moved on to, and they're all within government in our realm. So after you've been a casual for a year at PCC, at the Correctional Centre, you can apply to any other internal job in government within the department. So these places might include probation, victim services, and the provincial and Supreme Courts, shared services, youth justice, restorative justice, housing and income support, electronic monitoring services. So those would be like the ankle bracelet program. If you're interested in mental health and addictions at all, we work closely with them, and that's definitely an option. Child and family services, maintenance enforcement. There's lots of options. So even if you start here, it's excellent experience. You just get a really good grasp of the criminal justice system and working with vulnerable populations. So whenever you get that experience and you're wanting to potentially move on, it's there's lots of room for movement. And like I said, there's going to be lots more jobs coming up in the future. So I can see that there'll be a lot of shifts.
Mm-hmm.
So share with us a little bit like what a day in the life of looks like. So what does the daily role and responsibility as a correction officer look like?
So as a correctional officer, on a day-to-day basis, so for example, myself, right now I'm a CO3 or a shift supervisor. So my role is to help out the floor supervisor, more or less assist them. So on a day-to-day basis, I come to work, I'm doing a security check right away of the entire facility, make sure it's secure, make sure every offender is accounted for. I'm checking the daily schedule to see if any offenders have appointments. Say they have to go to the dentist, they have to go to the hospital for an x-ray, they have to go appear in court in person. Sometimes there's federal transports off the island, you name it, we pretty well take them there. So I'm looking at the daily schedule, seeing if any offenders have to be transported. I'm escorting the nurse around the building, administering medication to all the offenders, dealing with request forms from offenders. So anything they want in the facility, they have to put it onto what we call a request form. And then it's sent to supervisors and management for approval. See if we can get it done for them. I deal with outside agencies that come in, probation services, electronic monitoring. They're always in and out of the building. Police agencies too, RCMP and city. They're always doing business in and out of here. So I'm liaisoning with them. I'm checking around on the living units with the staff that work on there, making sure that that everything's run smoothly, making sure the checks are getting done, things of that nature. Yeah, so more or less in my capacity anyway, I'm just assisting on the floor, making sure the building is running smoothly.
So definitely not an office position.
No, definitely not an office position. It's a lot on your feet. A lot of dealing with the public, dealing with the offenders.
What about you?
So for me, in my role as a program officer, my day is definitely a little different. So I'm coming in, I'm kind of looking at the roster of who's all in the building, seeing if there's anyone new that's come in that I need to go and check in with. So when someone comes in and is sentenced, I go and meet with them, do an intake and program assessment. So see kind of how we can support them while we're here and as they transition back into the community. So if there's any referrals that need to be completed, if they're looking to apply to any treatment facilities, I help with all that and get them to the right places. And then throughout the day, I'm also facilitating program with groups based on units. We offer provincial programs that we have, and then we also offer a few federal programs that we've been given permission to put on, and we've been trained by CSC. And I basically am, I support offenders in any of that capacity. But as a CO, whenever I was doing that role, it was very different. It was more, you're doing head counts every hour, you're passing meals, supervising outside and gym time, escorting people to and from visits, appointments. Like Ryan had said, sometimes it might involve going on escorts or off-island drives, responding to any sort of disturbances as needed, dealing with lockups as they come in, just supporting offenders on the unit in whatever capacity that you may need to that day.
These offenders too, a big part of the rehabilitation is through our casework. So as myself as a shift supervisor, Jill would have a part to play in this too as a program officer, and just if you were just starting out as a CO2, you have a big part to play too in the casework. We have a certain system for every certain steps that need to be taken to try and set these guys up and girls up for success when they're released. So it just we're taking documenting their day-to-day activities in here. We're meeting with them and trying to set up any supports they need when they get out, like housing or income support or addiction support, and things of that nature. So pretty well everybody that works in this building, whether you're a program officer or a supervisor or just a CO2, everyone has a part to play in in the casework too.
And just quickly, any thoughts of some personal characteristics individuals should possess or know about themselves getting into any of these type of positions or with the department?
I would think that you need to be able to work with people. That's a really big aspect of our job. So building rapport with our offenders is really vital in rehabilitation, safety, lots of different aspects of the job. So I think if you can level with people, be a people person, be willing to compromise, those are really great skills to have. Any that you would think to add?
Skills. You know, I mean, for lack of a better term, you do have to have some thick skin if you're working as a correctional officer. We deal with, to be realistic, we deal with abuse day in and day out. But you know, you gotta learn to not take it personal and let it roll off your back, and come in for your next shift and start with a fresh mind. Yeah.
I don't think if there's anything else.
Gotta be a team player for sure.
Yeah, for
Gotta be a
sure.
team player. We work as a team here every single day. That's how this building operates.
The ability to think on your feet as well. Sometimes you have to make decisions in a quick moment, especially if, you know, you're working on a unit and a fight breaks out, or you have to respond to a fight or a medical situation. That's definitely a good skill to possess.
Yep, and I'd probably also mention if you think you'd be good at like de-escalating potentially violent situations or like irate offenders, if you can use your verbals to de-escalate situations like that, would definitely be an asset as well.
Yeah. And again, we do offer training in a lot of those areas. So that's really great. If you're feeling like you're lacking in one of those capacities, we do support our staff through that.
Yeah, sure.
All right. Well, thank you, both of you. I know I threw a few unplanned questions at you, but it helps sort of shape the career field and the expectations of what people may want to know when they're considering it. So as follow-up, when we post this, we will share contact information. And again, there's typically ongoing postings within the provincial government on their website, which we will also share as follow-up to this. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for having us.